What's going on, YouTube? Happy Friday. This video is going out late. I just walked in the door. I don't think I posted the videos that I recorded recently where I show some inside of my house. Still not done, but it's mostly done. I got butcher block counters back here. My counter's a mess. I'll show you though. Super quick because I got some other things I want to talk about. Tiler's down in here. Still got those two spots to do, but they tie into these two rooms and I have to kind of handle them separately. New window is going to be going in here. Wall cabinet's going up. I did beadboard on the ceiling. Like I said, still have to finish it all out. Faux beams up there. And did recessed lighting all throughout. This atrocious green carpet is going to go. Finishing up this bookshelf here too. Anyway, I wanted to get this video out earlier today, and I recorded some of it and then didn't get to finish it, and then I decided to drive home. But my first week is done on this big project, and I ended up going up on Tuesday and getting up there late in the afternoon. So Wednesday, went and checked the job out, did some demo. Thursday, picked up stuff from powder coat. That was one of the big concerns. I'll talk a little bit more about the specifics on the project next week while I'm up there working on it, and I can show you guys what I'm doing. But this is the biggest contract that I've landed. This one's over 6 figures, contract total. And so that's the most I've made on one single project, you know, like one single bid. So it's super exciting to put in a big bid and get it. So I just want to tell you guys, you know, that if you've been sitting here watching along, it can be done. There's more out there. I'm working on a few more bids for later this year that are in the same ballpark. So it'll be nice if I get those. But anyway, I just wanted to put a quick video out here just to say a couple things that I learned this week already. I'm going to prop my phone up here. Man, I was super worried about some small details about this thing. There were big details, but small details. But, you know, like going into these projects, a lot of times they are going to be net 30, net 45, net 60, which if you don't know what that means, that basically means you get paid 30, 45, 60, 90 days after it's done. And if you're a small guy like me, you know, that's a big piece you have to think about, because you are going to be doing the project, showing up, providing all your stuff up front, and then you get paid 30 days after you know it happens. So like for this, you know, I bid this contract back in January, and then bid the materials. I was able to get them to, you know, provide a PO for the materials up front. So I wasn't out of pocket for the materials. They were able to fund a check that covered the materials. As far as logistics go, the dates just didn't work out to get it done, because they processed the check a little bit later than when I needed the material. So I was able to get a business credit, like a credit application through the steel supplier, and then they gave me net 30 terms there too. So something that you can look to, and then, you know, like if you don't specifically, if you can't get it, you know, find somebody that, you know, maybe you can, or, you know, a buddy's business or something that may have an account to where you can get some of those materials on a PO. And, you know, like by the time I ordered them, picked them up, and then got the check, it ended up being about a week later. So it was able to pay it off pretty quick. You know, it wasn't the full 30 days. So that helped out a ton on the timeline. But this was, yeah, I mean, it's just a ton of materials on this job. The steel alone was $55,000. Powder coating was 23.5, something like that. And just the way the logistics worked out, I wasn't able to get the material to my house shop, fab it up, and then put it back on a truck and then haul it to the powder coater. So I ended up going straight from the steel mill, steel yard, to the powder coating shop, and they powder coated it whole. So I'm going to throw in some video here real quick. These are all the column posts. They welded these rings in there to make it easier to hang some of these pieces on the rack. Gonna be a lot of cutting. and you can see there how much stuff it is, you know. And then just, it's been disaster after disaster. My buddy that I talked about in the last video that was going to help me out has some family stuff come up, and he wasn't able to, and he was letting me use this 40-foot gooseneck, and then it got totaled on Sunday. So we ended up having to use a 20-foot equipment trailer to haul 20-foot pieces of steel, which just made for extra trips, and you know, it was just a lot more difficult. Not as safe as I would have liked, but we were able to get it done, and got it done safely and in one piece. But the biggest thing I just wanted to talk about today was just, you know, sometimes you have to just trust the process. I was super just stressed out this week about, you know, just like, okay, well, you know, that's going to be a bunch of consumables that I got to pick up. I got to pick up this, I got to pick up that. I don't have a plasma cutter. That would make it easier. I was thinking about buying a bandsaw. I was trying to find a used one. I was going to have to rent the equipment. Which, you know, this is all money just out of your pocket up front. The telehandler, lull, whatever you want to call it, month rate was like $2,400. Week rate was like $1,400. So it was like cheaper to buy it or rent it for the month. And, you know, I was just like, and, you know, like that's just more money out of my pocket that I have to front to then get paid, you know, in May or June or whenever, you know, like when the money finally comes through, because the project won't be done until April 21st. And my part will hopefully be done by April 1st, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I will get my part 30 days after I'm done. You know what I mean? So luckily, went up there, talked to him. The general contractor was like, look, bro, I'll help you out. And, you know, I think that instead of you getting a mag drill or whatever else, he was like, I think you should really just do it with a plasma. And, you know, but just because of the way it's getting bolted up with, you know, bolts, washers, and expanding bolts, he was like, plasma will be a lot faster. He's like, tell you what, I'll just order it. And, you know, if I'll take it out your invoice if you want to keep it. And if you don't want to keep it, I'll keep it. So super cool, you know, just like you just never know how things are going to pan out. So just don't. It's pot calling the kettle black, because I stressed so much about it last week and this week, and you know that came through for me. And we were talking about renting the equipment, and you know he was like, well, I know a guy over here, let me call him, whatever. And then the project manager overheard us talking about it, and he was like, oh, well, if we need it, then we need it. Send me a PO and you know we'll just rent it. Or he was like, send me the information, we'll put in a PO and we'll cover it. So I got my forklift covered, and then was able to get a plasma cutter basically bought for me for the project. And you know, if I decide to keep it, I decide to keep it. So it comes out of my bill at the end, you know, and just whatever I get paid, and that'll be deducted the price of the plasma cutter. So, you know, just you guys that are out there that are worried about, you know, making the jump, like I say, sometimes you just got to do it. And there's going to be some unknowns. There's going to be things that you don't know how they're going to work out, but you really won't know till you try. And you never know how it's going to pan out. Yeah, I'm just super blessed, super grateful for the people that I've met along this journey. You know, this project was literally just a off-the-cuff type deal. I was talking just to the project manager about like, yep, if y'all need any welding services, let me know. And he was like, oh yeah, talk to the general contractor, you know. And I was like, all right, whatever. Well, the project manager went to bat for me. And then the GC approached me and was like, I heard you want to build this. And I was like, I mean, yeah, if you want me to. He's like, okay, cool, it's yours. Send me a number. It's like, what? He was like, well, you're going to bid against this other guy, but, you know, just send me a number. He's like, you're cool, want to work with you. Seem like you know what you're doing. And that was it. And now we're, you know, looking to build a long-term relationship, doing more work. So, like I said, those of you guys out there that are just on the fringe of deciding to make the jump or not, I'm telling you, just do it. It's 8:45 here, so I'm going to hop off, shoot this video up. So those on the West Coast and the Western time zones will see it earlier in the day. Maybe some of you guys on the West Coast will see it. But I drove down for the weekend to pick up some more tools. It was about 2 hours, 45-minute drive. So I stopped by the gym, thus the Chris Bumstead shirt. So tomorrow I'm going to pack up some tools and get up on the road Sunday. My buddy's letting me borrow a Bobcat that he's got on a trailer. So I'll have another engine-driven machine, and he's actually going to come up and weld some for me. And then I got somebody else come in for a few days after that. So I'm going to be rotating some hands through. But next week I'll be shooting some videos on putting it together, putting it up, shooting some videos on welding, and we'll talk a little bit more about business stuff. And like I said, I promise as soon as this is done, I've got a couple days of some other projects that are pretty immediately scheduled after. And then we will be sitting down with the business stuff, official business stuff. So you guys stay cool out there. Be safe. Have a great weekend. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'll try to get to them as best I can. Or write it in the comments. Like I said, I try to keep up with it as much as I can, but I work 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. most of the time. So someday soon, we'll get to where I'll be working a lot less physically and just be doing ownership stuff, I hope. Probably will never put the Stinger down full time, but I want to grow the business part and still get out there when I need to. So have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you on the next one.